Coucou les coucous! De retour à Dark Deity. On devrait être en mesure d'achever le dragon. Ok, weird pattern. Fait que le monde, j'ai l'impression que le monde qui sont sur cette ligne-là et en haut reçoivent un coup de queue, le monde qui sont en bas sur cette ligne-là ils se font bretter dessus. Ok, qu'est-ce qu'on a ici? Ça, Fearsome Roar, Hell Swipe, Fearsome Roar. Et tu, ouais, Stalactite, Immobilize Unit for 1 turn. Je peux probablement juste le gun down.
This should be fun. Right between the eyes. 2 steps forward, 1
Are you
step
sure?
back.
One bad level.
All yours.
Qui c'est que je veux qu'il aille le level? Elena?
My turn!
Pas le
I
level, mais
feel stronger. Do I look stronger?
c'est qui va achever le dragon. Was.
Sharp skills, full
It
pockets.
will be done. Even now, the arena is with me.
I am here.
Go! Coup de shield en face! Non, pas de coup de shield en face.
One more for the good guys.
Grown is the shadow cast.
I hope I helped.
Yes, yes you did. Oui! T'as pas lapé les 3 prochains, mais pas loin. Edge Taken 23, Healing 121. Il est pour 121? Hein? Great Saira, no one is going to believe this. Can hardly believe it myself. I can, and what's a worthwhile reward that is. Feel free to help yourself to anything in that far corner there. It's all yours. That looks more like 5% than 10.
Don't get greedy.
Nah, it's 10. Trust me, I've got a knack for these things. Then perhaps I'm starting to feel like nearly getting burnt to a crisp entitles me to a bit more than 10%.
Watch yourself.
I never renegotiate my words, only weapons, but if you insist. No Fenton, that will be necessary. I think that share will be plenty.
Aye.
Yes, very good. I don't suppose I could load this all into a cart. Might take a few trips. Say, friend, would you have some time on your hands? I could use some help transporting all of this back home.
Fool.
We have some rather important matters to attend to, Dwarf. Why don't you call on some of your own kind? I wouldn't trust any of them with a hunk of iron. Suppose it's not out of the question, Fenton, but presently, Monroe's right. We do have some very pressing tasks. Well, that being the case, I think I'd like to stick around a bit longer, if you wouldn't mind having me. Best to keep an eye on things until you're ready for a little trip.
Good work.
I don't think anyone would object. If we're going to make it home, we'll need a good name for the place. The Marrow's a wee bit off-putting to visitors. Believe that's the idea. Any suggestion? Marrow Hall. Ha! You humans sure are creative. Suppose it's to the point. I like it, Alden. Marrow Hold it is. I'd say we've all earned ourselves a good night rest. Let's take the time to settle into our new home. Quoi, c'est ça? Liberator. Hey, on a fait le 2/3 du jeu, puis on a enfin une home base. I'm open to suggestion. I wish it were as simple as letting Delia liberate itself. Our biggest advantage is that nobody knows we're back. That's not going to last long. They'll find out eventually. Whether we make a move or not. Striking fast is our best bet.
Wow.
I love what you've done with the place. I know, Irene. The dead dragon does make a great mantelpiece. Good to see you again, Irene.
Good news.
And you have good news. A lead, and a time-sensitive one at that. Allow me to introduce Ayla Valrialti, the younger sister of Tiana Valrialti. For sure. The fuck. Welcome, Ayla. Ayla, thank you. I wasn't sure who to turn to. It's a good thing Irene overheard me in the tavern a few nights back. As you know, the prison at Dervin houses 100 of the most dangerous lion who have resisted the throne's tyranny. Yeah, mainly fighter came up. Dervin, I've heard that name before. We all have. It's the most infamous prison in the lion. It's also run by Alia's sister, and you can bet she has more of a humanitarian streak than Varric. She's just following order. If she doesn't go through with it, they'll lock her up with the rest of them. Hold on a minute. Go through with what exactly? She just received order from the king. She has until the end of Vigorson to execute every prisoner in Dervin.
It can't be.
God, has it truly gotten this bad? There's a word and 100 dies. Where is the justice? Justice rests in our hands. That much has never been clearer.
Please.
Listen, I know she doesn't want to do it. She made that obvious when she let slip that she was nervous about a shipment of Ignesium coming in for the cannons at the end of the week. What is Ignesium exactly? An extremely volatile alchemical reagent manufactured in Naja. Dangerous.
Halfen.
In Halfen, magic is forbidden anywhere near it. It's possible for a mage to induce a reaction simply by concentrating too hard. Actually, Alden used to practice with it at the academy.
Joke.
Can't be serious. I'm astounded that was allowed, and more astounded yet that he's still here. Well, that does explain a few things. Good. Sounds like you'll know how to make it do what it does best. When the delivery is made, they'll store it just behind the main gate before it's hauled off to the armory. There should be plenty enough to blow the door clean off their hinges.
It's not that simple.
Hold on. Dervin is one of the heaviest fortified prisons in the country. Seems we have our way in, but I'm not sure about our way out. You round up the prisoner fast enough, you shouldn't have much trouble leading them right out the front door. If reinforcements arrive, Dervin's got a few trip up its iron sleeve. Smaller hatches you should be able to access once you're inside. If you give me a scroll, I can sketch them out for you. And what about Tiana? I know my sister. If you get away, she won't pursue. She'll follow her orders to the ward inside the prison, but once you're out and running, you're no longer her problem.
That's it.
Well, we can't let those people die. If we hesitate to save them, we may as well have never
Good
come
man.
back. I agree. If we strike fast with plans to escape, we run a very little risk. I'll get you out, and if I might add one thing, I know you can't guarantee anything, but if you can avoid it, please don't hurt Tiana. She never wanted to be in this position. We'll do everything we can to make sure your sister remains unharmed. Thank you for bringing this to us, Ayla. I know it can't have been
Right
easy.
away.
We should prepare quickly. I pray the execution will have not already begun. Fuck. Non, j'avais pas... Fait que c'est un peu moins de 10 000 piastres qu'on m'a donné. Boss, I don't mean to disrespect by of it, of course, but what on terra compel you to pack yourself into that barrel? Heh, good
Right.
question. Alright, so I'd imagine it was an equally good answer. Just like the way it smelled on the inside. Really?
Think?
No, of course not. Are you kidding me? Not somewhere to be.
Yeah.
Somewhere to be, that's right. You're still with us instead of wherever you were going
Stop.
because you're trying to get rid of me, aren't you? No, not before I understand what you're about, at least. That is a fool errands, my friend.
Hardly.
You really think you got Such an uncrackable shell. Listen very carefully, buddy. Because I'm only going to say this once. Are you listening?
I'm all in.
Yes, Fox. I am an enigma. I have never been truly comprehended and never will be. My mere existence is a paradox. If you knew the true form of the being with whom you converse, you would tremble in despair. Oh yes, Master Edgelord. Somehow I doubt that. Then be grateful I've chosen to be merciful and shield your eyes from my true form.
You're really something.
I think I'm grateful for that all the same.
Definitely.
There we go, that's more like it. Be right back. Ok, je lis sur les bandes. First of all, il faut que deux personnes soient adjacents un à l'autre pour être capable de les triggerer. Je sais pas si c'est le quip, genre quand il dit quand quelqu'un fait un kill, puis l'autre il répond quelque chose, genre quand, mettons, Benji il dit à quelqu'un qui vient de faire un kill, That was my kill, or something genre. C'est peut-être un trigger pour donner un bond. J'imagine qu'il y a des story requirements ici, là, tu peux pas les triggerer 30 fois dans la même bataille puis espérer avoir le S-rank à la fin de la bataille. Il doit y avoir des story events parce que ils font référence aux batailles ou des éléments dans la story, I guess. Je continue à lire. Ok, donc j'ai regardé. Mécaniquement, ça change rien au jeu. Les bandes ont 3 tiers ABC, donc 3 interactions possibles. C'est à peu près, c'est apparemment impossible de toutes les faire dans le même playthrough. Il faudrait au moins 3 playthroughs pour toutes les faire. C'est bon. Il y a un achievement pour toutes les faire, which is kind of a jerk move. Puis c'est pas mal ça. Fait que j'étais curieux. Fenton, do dwarves really live underground? Aye, deeper than most men ever have ever delved.
Wow.
Isn't it cold and dark down there? Not in the slightest. Terrasville got a great big heart, you see. And it beats with hot orange blood. There's plenty of enough of it to keep our toes and our forages hot. It's crazy, so the ground bleeds? If you cut deep enough. How deep would I have to dig to see it?
Varden's beard.
Ah, you're better off picking up where a century of my forefathers left off, lad. No use reinventing a hole in the ground. That makes sense. I've got another question, actually. Ask away. At the academy, I also heard that dwarf drinks too much. Is that true? There's the right myth, lad. It's quite the opposite. The dwarf never drinks enough. Not every day that a host of dwarfs runs aground, but when they do, you can count them in drinking every tavern dry for miles. I think my aunt wishes she were a dwarf. Can't say I fault her for it, but I do wonder what makes you say that. Dad always said she drinks too much at family banquets.
Had a few.
Ah, well, strong drink, not for everyone. Certainly not a young'un like yourself. Best to steer clear for now. Marin usually won't even let me go near it. That's probably for the best, but don't fret. There'll be time enough for drinks and merriment.
Don't mind if I do.
And when that time comes, I'd be more than happy to help you find your way to a choice pint. Thanks, Fenton. I bet they make a great drink in Everheart. The greatest. Starting to get rosy just thinking about it. You seem rather pleased with yourself, Captain.
I do my best.
That's because I am. We made it out of the shimmering mist in record time. Sure know how to catch a tailwind. I made that tailwind. Huh? You mean like you made it with a spell?
Naturally.
Precisely. All of it? Surely there was some sort of breed in that to begin with.
Look, kid.
Some sort of breed. Alright, let's not overestimate your role here. I know the temptation well enough, but you've got to keep in check to be realistic.
Absurd.
Why am I allowing a washed-up smuggler to lecture me on what it means to be realistic?
Whoa there!
No need to get nasty just because I'm right. Yes, of course, my false life withers in the harsh light of your profound truth-telling. A bit dramatic, but that's more like it. Ignoramus. Call me ignorant all you want, but the name's Ford, not Amos. Ignore Amos. Ford Amos.
Ugh.
I'm not even going to respond to that. Mission accomplished. Nana, I won. Marin, I have a bit of a strange request. Probably not as strange as you think. How can I help? Could you try your healing magic again? I get asked that all the time, Elias. Believe it or not, what seems to be the problem? I just generally don't feel so well. Oh, alright, I can try something. Thank you. There. Is there any better? Not really. No, I don't mean that, and I don't mean that as a slight, Marin. Don't worry, I didn't take it that way. Maybe you're just tired. No spell substitute for a good night's sleep.
Hold on.
Could you try it again on my forehead this time?
I don't know.
Elias. Please, Marin, just try it. Alright. Did that help? Well, my headache disappeared. That's good, but I get the feeling that wasn't the problem. No, it wasn't. Are you trying to do away with painful thoughts or memory? I know they're a spell that induces amnesia. I've heard that Inquisitor sometimes uses them, but they're far beyond anything anyone here has learned. To my knowledge, anyway. I mean, Lincoln and I keep Asia than I can start. And they're not very specific.
I'd rather not.
You're right about that, I don't think that will do. Just want to get these images out of my head. I might find myself distracted for a moment and then they'll pop right back into my mind once more. Just try to be patient with yourself. Time often heals what magic can't. Things you've seen will fade. I know that's true, only easy to say but difficult to do. Yeah, exactly. Well, the good news is you don't really have to do anything. Time passes all by itself. One day you'll remember you felt this way once, and you'll be struck with gratitude for the fact that you don't anymore. Just hope that day comes sooner rather than later. The only thing I found to help with that are good friends and a higher purpose.
Perhaps.
If that's the case, then I suppose I'm in good
It'll be
hands.
alright.
I'd say you are. Jake? Marahome, I like it. It's accurate, to the point, and yet it has some charm to it. Well chosen, my friend.
Yep.
Thanks, yeah, it sort of just came to me when we were standing around trying to figure out what to call it. Oh, a bolt of inspiration then. Have you considered taking up poetry? Might suit
Are
you.
you sure?
Maybe. I think Corvin wants me to do
Right.
it. Sure he does. Be careful what you choose to share with him. But then, I have the feeling it'll all end up in some book. You think he wants to publish all our secrets? Not sure he can help it. Writing is in his blood. Come as easily as thinking for some. I'll never understand. That definitely would come in handy back at the academy. I've been taught the same.
You're really something.
You know, Alden, I'm sorry I ever doubted you. You've become a mage of impressive prowess in the span of what takes... in the span it takes most to learn how to form their first spell. You'd be very proud.
Huh?
You doubted me? I actually never knew that. Then I'm embarrassed to admit it, but it's true. I'm not usually one to offer much advice, but let me say this. Never take someone else's doubt to mean that you ought to doubt yourself. Instead, see it as an opportunity to exploit an error in their judgment, or a challenge to strengthen you. Not one thing I wish I heard long before I discovered it. I'll try to remember that if I start to doubt myself. Very good. I hope you'll find it serve you well. Mauvaise personne. Alright, Lincoln, sir.
Good
How's
man.
that? An unexpected spot of decency? Excellent, you're welcome. Now let me ask you a question. Is it about your training? I've kept a close eye on your performance, and I'd say you're coming along quite well. Appreciate it, but no, it's actually more of a hypothetical. I've never found much use for such things, but I imagine you've made up your mind about asking it regardless.
Right.
Right. We're getting to know each other so well, isn't it wonderful? Is that your question? No, alright. So you're a man of honor, aren't you?
Indeed.
I strive to be. Very good. Now let's imagine you're escorting a handful of kids to escape a siege. You see a guard ahead on the road and tells the children to hide in the brush. The guard spots you and asks if there's anyone with you. Do you lie in order to keep the children safe, or do you hand them over? Neither. I was not trained to prevail by treachery.
Are you sure?
And what would you do?
With honor.
Stand my ground and fight. Suppose the guard had a small army with him? All the same.
You're really something.
Foolish, but consistent at least. I have to leave you that. Well, suppose I lie. The guard may choose to doubt me regardless and search the area. And I've stained my honor, and for what? It's a grave error to think we have control over anything beyond our own conduct. I'm not sure I agree, but I suppose there's something I hadn't thought of. It's good that you've taken an interest in such thing, Garrick. Matters of right judgment. These are thought worthy of the mind. What a relief. My commanding officer finally approved of my thought. Perhaps I've earned a short release from my kitchen duties? Yes, perhaps you have.
Well, what do you know?
There's that's the smile, I told you. Just a matter of time. In this case, it seems you're right, regrettably. Brooke, I doubt you'll take kindly to my unsolicited advice, but I'll offer it all the same. How tragic.
I won't let you fall.
In battle, you strike powerfully and true. Brooke ici, elle commence à faire du 0 point de dégâts x2. But your skill are put to better use when you stay near the others. You can get yourself into a lot of trouble taking off on your own. Une dueliste qui fonctionne pas bien à côté d'autres personnes. I'm an assassin, Lincoln. That's what I do.
No.
No, you were an assassin. Now you're a distinguished royal bodyguard. Why do you have such disdain for my profession anyway? Do you think the killing done by a soldier is any more just?
Indeed.
Do. And how do you figure that? War is violence as a last resort.
Look at this.
Ah, is that right? I hardly think we'd be taking the fight to Varric if we felt our differences could be resolved diplomatically. What if Delia's war with Armor then? Do you think it's unjust? I might have thought differently once, but yes, that seemed clearer by the day. Besides, a just war also has rules of engagement.
You can't be serious.
Ha! Tell that to the people of
I've
Alaris.
said my part.
Can't answer for the actions of others. I, for one, would never raise a sword against the unarmed. Or any non-combatant, for that matter.
Can't trust them.
And yet, I'm sure you fought against many who would easily seize that advantage over you if they could get it.
Disgraceful.
Then they do not fear a death without honor. And you do? I strive to live a life of one.
Whatever you say.
Well, keep your honor. I prefer efficiency. They need not be in conflict, Brooke. Excellent. Why don't we lead by example then? I am trying to. So, say this revolution goes right. What do the two of us become then? Political peers, though I would hope friends as well. Hard for political peers to stay friends across borders like the one that separates the two of us.
It's simply politics.
Only if you let it be hard. We aren't shackled to the action of our predecessors. All it takes is for us to set a good precedent together.
Oh, come on.
Are you truly such an optimistic? I don't understand how you aren't an optimistic. Seems like such a dreary way to live, depressing even. Depressing is the Gallus of Valburin estate in Silver Garland. Being realist isn't depressing in the slightest. And here I thought you didn't get anything from your father. If you knew the venom of that remark, I trust you wouldn't have spoken it. That was out of line. Sorry. Look, I want us to be friends. There's nothing standing in the way. Well, we've spent so much time fighting, I don't know what you and I have spent any time actually talking. That's the way things go sometimes, isn't it? A shame. Tell me, what did you occupy yourself with before our grand adventure? Constant research and a good deal of studying. I'm a bit of a bookworm, Samara too.
I'm intrigued.
A bit? We're going to teach you to have some fun then. How does that
We
sound?
must.
From the legendary Sloan Valmyron, consider my interest piqued. Et je pense que c'est tout. Ok, 10 000. Shop. Weapon token. Upgrade. Shop. Je vais pas commencer la prochaine bataille aujourd'hui. là. Upgrades. Non, pas upgrade. Shop. Un peu tête en argent, mais c'est pas grave. Je veux tout le monde avec au moins un level 3. C'est Iris. Benji! Lincoln. Ok, on va skipper, J'aimerais avoir un level 3, mais vu que ça va être des lignes, souvent eux autres, on peut les laisser de côté. Tiers 3. Save. On va quand même progresser là, mais on fera pas le compte. In search for a new home, the party defeats a dragon that has terrorized the Marrows for decades. Now with an established base in Marrowhold and a new, though questionable ally in Fenton, the party consider their next move. King Varric appears to be the clearest target at the moment, and getting to him will require many more soldiers than they have. Alia Val Realpir, younger sister to the warden of the Dervin prison, warned them that Varric plans to execute hundreds of prisoners. They decide that freeing those prisoners will be a decisive announcement that the party has returned, and hope to gain valuable allies among those they free. Okay, du bleu. How about that for an entrance? Alright, they blow up the gate. Is nobody ever going to parent this time? Thank the god, looks like we made it in time. Don't speak too soon. Look like we are definitely towing the line. We've already taken some of the prisoner to the gallery. What do you suggest?
Well,
Did some recon work here several years ago. We aren't going to have any choice but to storm through this blocks of soldiers. Hopefully we can catch a breather on the bridge.
Now what?
What is the plan? We need to get going and fast. We should let the prisoner in this block out as we come through. We don't know where reinforcement will come from. So no sense coming back to them later. That's all well and good, but we should also consider booking it for the bridge. The sooner we get there, the less chance our friends and change go kaput. Honestly, the longer we stand here, the less chance they have either way. A plan only lasts until the first blow is struck, right?
No time.
Gaius is right. We need to move.
to arms!
We've got a prison to liberate. Oh, on libère la prisonnière, pas les prisonniers. Alright, map prep. J'assume que ça c'est le bridge qui veut le dire. Hi! Ça commence close quarter. Fait que je sais pas si ils vont se défendre, parce que techniquement ils ont l'air d'avoir des chevaux et des weapons. Puis ils ont l'air d'être capables de tirer à l'extérieur. Ça c'est du monde qui est en... Ah, ça c'est nice pareil, le monde qui est en haut ici. Soldier House and Dervin Prison will be executed soon. Rescue them all. Ok, ça c'est la fille qu'on s'était battu contre. Genre les rebelles, les deserters. Ouais, start. Je vais juste checker rapidement. Ils n'ont pas l'air d'avoir de stats. Nous, oui. Toi. Ça va être bottleneck en tabarnak. Ici, il y a 4 archers en haut. Qui n'étaient pas de stats. Puis toi, j'ai aucune idée c'est qui. Puis la sœur. Dragoon, Defender. Un chopping block, ok. La sœur de la sœur de la fille, oui. La prison warden n'a pas l'air d'être là. Ça a l'air d'être l'executioner. Ok. On va appeler ça un épisode et on va faire commencer cette bataille la prochaine fois. Alors, au revoir et à bientôt.